Hamza, TechnologyWala from Government College of Technology, Multan. Today I have discussion with uh, ChatGPT on the topic of how to
Walaikum.
identify how to identify and avoid toxic positivity. Hello, ChatGPT. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you, and I'm excited to dive into the topic of toxic positivity with you. How can I assist you in this discussion today?
What does toxic positivity mean to you, and how it is different from healthy optimism?
That's a great question. So, toxic positivity refers to the excessive and overgeneralized focus on positive emotions to the point where it invalidates or ignores genuine emotional experiences, especially negative ones. On the other hand, healthy optimism acknowledges challenges and difficulties, but still maintains a hopeful and constructive outlook. It's more balanced and empathetic, allowing space for both positive and negative emotions.
In what everyday situations have you seen or experienced toxic positivity, either personally or professionally?
Yeah, definitely. In everyday life, toxic positivity can pop up in various ways. For instance, when someone is going through a tough time and others respond with phrases like, just stay positive or look on the bright side without acknowledging the person's feelings. It can also happen in professional settings, like when workplace culture pushes for constant positivity and discourages employees from expressing stress or frustration. It can even show up in social media where people only share the highlight reel of their lives and discourage any form of vulnerability.
How do you think people use toxic positivity even when their intentions are good?
That's a really insightful point. Often people use toxicity with good intentions, like trying to comfort someone or uplift them. They may believe that focusing on positive thoughts can help the person feel better or that it's a way to encourage resilience. However, even with the best intentions, it can sometimes unintentionally dismiss genuine feelings and feel misunderstood or isolated. It's all about finding that balance in positivity.
How can toxic positivity impact mental health, relationships, or team dynamics over time?
Absolutely. It can have some significant impacts. For mental health, toxic positivity can lead to feelings of isolation, anxiety, or even depression because people might feel like their true emotions are valid or welcome. In relationships, it can create a lack of trust and emotional intimacy since one person might feel that their struggles are being dismissed. And in team dynamic, stifle open communication and problem solving because team members might avoid sharing genuine concerns, which can ultimately hurt collaboration and productivity.
What are some common phrases or behaviors that signal toxic positivity?
Yeah, there are definitely some telltale signs. For instance, phrases like just stay positive, it could be worse, or everything happens for a reason can sometimes come off as dismissive. Also, behaviors like constantly redirecting conversations away from negative emotions or pressuring others to appear happy all the time can be signs. Another common behavior is invalidating someone's feelings by saying things like, don't worry, be happy, instead of really listening and empathizing.
How can we respond when someone dismisses our feelings with overly positive statements?
That's a great question. One effective approach is to acknowledge their intention and then gently validate the feelings of the person who's struggling. For example, you can say something like, I appreciate your positivity, and I also want to acknowledge that it's okay to feel upset or frustrated. You can also offer a listening ear and encourage open dialogue, making sure the person feels heard and understood. Ultimately, it's about fostering empathy and creating a safe space for genuine emotions.
What does healthy emotional sports look like compared to toxic positivity?
Absolutely. Healthy emotional support is empathy, active listening, and validation. It means acknowledging someone's feelings without judgment, allowing them to express themselves fully, and offering comfort and understanding without trying to immediately fix or minimize their emotions. On the other hand, toxic positivity often rushes to dismiss those feelings or shifts the focus only to the positive, which can leave the person feeling unheard or invalidated. In short, healthy emotional support creates a compassionate and open environment, whereas toxic positivity can create a barrier to genuine connection.
How can educators, leaders, or parents encourage resilience without invalidating emotions?
That's such an important balance to strike. One approach is to create a supportive environment where emotions are openly acknowledged and validated first. This means listening actively, empathizing, and letting individuals express their feelings without judgment. Once they feel heard, you can gently guide them towards resilience by focusing on problem solving, coping strategies, and the strengths they already have. It's also helpful to normalize challenges and emphasize that it's okay to experience setbacks. By blending empathy with encouragement, educators, leaders, and parents can help foster true resilience without diminishing anyone's emotions.
What strategies can individuals use to avoid practicing toxic positivity themselves?
That's a great question. One effective strategy is to practice mindfulness and self awareness so you can recognize when you're minimizing your own or others' feelings. It's also helpful to actively listen and validate emotions before offering positive reframes or solutions. Another good practice is to allow space for vulnerability and to encourage open, honest conversations. It's also beneficial to educate yourself about emotional health and to be open to feedback. Ultimately, it's about creating a balanced approach that honors genuine feelings while still fostering hope and resilience.
How can creating space for uncomfortable emotions actually lead to growth and well being?
Creating space for uncomfortable emotions is really powerful because it allows individuals to process and understand their feelings deeply. When we acknowledge and accept these emotions, it helps reduce their intensity and allows us to move through them more effectively. Over time, this kind of emotional awareness can lead to greater resilience, better coping strategies, and even personal growth. It also fosters and deeper connections with others as we become more comfortable with vulnerability. Ultimately, embracing these emotions can lead to more authentic well being and a more balanced, fulfilling life.
Why do you think people use toxic positivity even when their intentions are good?
I think a lot of times people turn to toxic positivity because they really want to help and uplift others. And sometimes they might feel uncomfortable with negative emotion, feel pressured to keep things positive. It can also be a way of trying to protect others from pain or to maintain a sense of optimism in challenging situations. In many cases, it's rooted in good intentions, even if it ends up being unhelpful. It's really about wanting to make others feel better, even if the approach isn't always the most effective.
Thank you, ChatGPT, for giving us a time. Uh, what is your final suggestion, being as a leader or a mentor or as a leader? What strategies he used to do in well shape?
Absolutely. As a leader or mentor, one of the best strategies is to cultivate a culture of empathy and open communication. This means actively listening to your team or mentees, validating their feeling, then encouraging them to share openly without fear of judgment. It's also valuable to provide constructive feedback while being supportive and focusing on growth rather than perfection. Additionally, modeling vulnerability yourself can create a safe space for others to do the same. Ultimately, it's about fostering trust, empathy, and a growth mindset, which can lead to a more resilient and positive environment.
Thank you, ChatGPT, for giving us a time.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure to chat with you. If you ever need anything else, just let me know. Have a wonderful day.
We talk with you another topic later. Okay, bye.